Tomorrow's the first. What is going to happen, and what are your plans to deal with it?
Well, absent action sometime today, which we're still highly hopeful can happen. There's a lot still to go on today, but absent any action today, we unfortunately our industry is going to have 100,000 people or more actually who are not employed that would be otherwise, because the payroll support program that was put in place through CARES 1 expires. It was a 6-month program. Airlines were funded to pass through payroll to our people to keep them employed. That goes away. There's enormous bipartisan support to extend the program. We just haven't been able to get a vehicle in order for that to get passed, which is obviously highly unfortunate. But again, still a lot going on today. We are working to make sure that does happen, and highly hopeful we can get something done today so that none of us have to do that tomorrow.
Well, I'll be with you just momentarily, Sarah. But Doug, let me just ask you, what is on the other side of this? Even if when we do get back to more normalcy, what do you think the right size actually is for the airline industry out of that 100,000 that you're talking about? There must be some that just aren't economically feasible for the long term, or no?
Well, for the long term, well, no, it's certainly not for today. We're all flying, 50% or less of our scheduled airlines because demand is even much lower than that, and revenues are down much more than that. But look, if you get in things like the Great Recession, where demand's down 10, 15%, which certainly could be the case next year or a 2-year basis, that's still the level of demand at which we still fly all of our airplanes. We just make less money. So again, I happen to believe that a 6-month extension is what is needed, and 6 months from now we will be flying close to, or at least getting ready to fly all of our airplanes.
So you really do view it as a bridge at this point. If there's no aid forthcoming, Doug, do you have? I mean, we've made the point in the past that, and it's been made, that airlines have a lot of options in terms of assets that they have and ability to raise money on your own. Do you have plans for that, contingency plan?
We've already done it. This isn't about raising funds for the airline. This is about keeping the infrastructure in place by having us be paid to pass on to our team members who otherwise we don't have work for, to keep them in place so that as the economy rebounds, we're here to provide that infrastructure. But we all have raised, primarily through a lot of debt and through diluting our shareholders, more than sufficient amounts of cash to withstand this. This is about keeping in place so that we can be here to continue to provide service to small communities and to continue to provide employment for our team members so they're not taken off payroll. In the airline business, it's really hard to get, once people like pilots are out of training, to get them back up and trained. Everyone seems to understand that. That's why we have such strong bipartisan support for this. And this is all about keeping that infrastructure in place and keeping those jobs in place.
Yeah, Sarah, it's a tough day, and I know you're probably hearing from a lot of associates just not really sure how to go forward, unless something is forthcoming, as Doug said.
This is a really big day, and we expect action from Congress. And in fact, there are a lot of hopeful signs about that. As Doug said, we have enormous bipartisan support for this program. And the reason that there's bipartisan support for it is because it has shown to be the most successful jobs program of coronavirus relief. Not only does it provide this critical infrastructure for our entire country with continued service to every community, but if we did not have this jobs program, we would have people on the unemployment line. And that is a much more expensive endeavor. People are not paying into the economy. They're not paying their taxes. They're not able to care for themselves. In the middle of a pandemic, we need as many people strong as possible. And what that really means is real people, the people that I represent. Someone who said to me yesterday, and we have many of these people who are both parents are airline employees, and they said to me, our 6-year-old child asks us every single day, do we have a job or not? And today they asked, are they going to get a Christmas present? And so these are people who are not going to be able to pay their rent. They're not going to be able to take care of themselves. But this jobs program is an incredibly efficient use of the public's money in the middle of this pandemic, where we are down more than 60%. This is not weatherable, like Doug was talking about, where the airlines did not get a bailout during the Great Recession. We're able to weather that. We're able to weather that downturn. That's not what this is. And this is a bridge to a day when we can recover.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.